Your buddy here, Roberto, from another hotel room here in beautiful Miami. We're excited to start our influencing from the front tomorrow here, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I'll try to do my best to record videos and keep you updated. But today I want to talk a little bit about why it's important for us when you're communicating, presenting, trying to influence in sales, to decrease the amount of information so that you're going to increase sales or increase conversion. Now, this is very important. The psychology here is not that you're coming from a place of scarcity and like, oh, I don't want to share. And the psychology here is not that, oh man, it's my stuff and I don't want to share with other people. No, it's not about that. The psychology that sometimes when we have and you give so much information to your audience, they quote unquote they freeze and they cannot take action. And that happens so many times in my career. And a lot of speakers, the majority of speakers, because they associate the amount of information they give with the value they present. Now, this is important. Most presenters, they associate the amount of information. If they have a meeting for an hour, 2 hours, or a talk for 30 minutes, they associate the amount of information with the value they give instead of associating how much your audience is going to apply that information. Follow me? And sometimes you make a mistake. I made a mistake so many times. And there was a study done, I believe the scientist was Mark Lipper, and it's the famous study in the influence community is the jam study, the jelly study. So basically 1 week in a grocery store, the scientists set up like 24 different flavors of jam, or I think with jam or jelly, I don't remember which one. And 3% of the people tasted, and 3% of the people actually bought it. So I have all this traffic trying jams, and 24 different flavors, 3% bought it. And next week they reduced from 24 different flavors to 6, right? To 6, only 6. And then conversion went up, or the purchase went up 900%, right? And there's a bunch of studies that prove that less is more. And again, not from a place of scarcity, but you want to make sure you don't confuse people. And I had a client of mine, which loved this person, and this person was doing, basically he used to do, I think maybe like 40 or 50 presentations a year. So he relied heavily on speaking to grow his business. And before, his closing ratios were terrible. They're not good. Terrible. Like maybe 10% or so. And he hired me to help him convert more. And the first time that I saw, he had a very technical presentation. And the first time that I saw his presentation was like an hour talk. And in the end, he was closing for business. And what I did, I said, here's what we're going to do. You're going to cut your content by half. The guy goes, dude, by half? Are you crazy? I'm like, we're going to cut the content by half. But he goes, Roberto, I still have to speak for an hour, man. You know, I cannot speak because the companies and the place that I speak, they hire me for an hour, 90 minutes. I said, that's okay. What we're going to do, you're going to cut the amount of information, the data that you provide to people in half. And what we're going to do to replace that time, we're going to add stories, you're going to add analogies, and you're going to add some exercises that the audience can do during your talk to assimilate the information. He goes, come on, man. I'm like, okay. All right. So we did it. We cut the content in half. We come up with the stories. We come up with analogies and metaphors. And we come up with some exercises that the audience could do during the talk. The coolest thing is that I remember he called me after the first talk right after. So I helped him, did a coaching session, a long one. The first talk right after, the guy calls me up, hey dude, just closed 40,000 in business. The first talk, right? 2 years, his business, 400%. And so you see, it's not because when you give, it's not like you're trying to hide information from your audience. You're just trying to help them assimilate. And look, I have done this mistake so many times because I am always studying. I love speaking, love persuasion, love influence, love sales, love the psychology of success. So I'm always studying. So what happens is if I do an event this weekend, 2 weekends from now, they're going to be different. I'm going to have more information, have more stories. I made more mistakes. And sometimes have that tendency to say, I want to share everything I know. But it's not about sharing everything I know. It's to help people to assimilate your information so that I get it, I understand, I see then this information can help me right now. By the way, do you have more? And then because sometimes you're selling, promoting something at the end, sometimes people hire you as a keynote speaker, they hire you as a trainer, and then they quote unquote, they're not sales in the back end. But the most important thing is that even if you're not selling anything, even if you're doing a half an hour keynote, an hour keynote, 45-minute keynote, then the audience must be able to assimilate the stuff. And when you quote unquote, you vomit information on the audience, man, they cannot assimilate. And remember that most of the time comes from our need of like, man, if I like dump information on them, they're gonna think I'm an expert. It's my ego, so it's not about that. It's about, in my experience, to figure out what's really important to the audience, the point, and you give them exactly what they want, no more than less. Now it is part science, part art. I think when you speak more and more and more, you're gonna figure out exactly how to cut your content. But remember, too much information, it is not good. Now, don't speak to inform, speak to transform, and I'll record a couple more videos from tomorrow, our first day here in Miami, with our influencing from the front, and I'll talk to you soon. Adios.